Hi guys, it's me. I'm Nadia and I'm a 1L at the Thurgood Marshall School of Law at Texas Southern University, and I'm in my robe today because I took 2 midterms and I just got out of the shower and I chose peace. Hence my candle and my water. Anywho, I'm gonna tell you guys the 3 major differences between, oh my god, I kicked my camera, between undergrad and law school. You ready?
Are you ready?
Just kidding. So the first major difference is the way that information is learned. So whereas in undergrad, you go to class, maybe you might have read before you went to class, but I doubt it. But you go to class, you listen to what the teacher says, maybe. You take notes, maybe. You take pictures of the PowerPoint, maybe. And then you leave. And you hope that the teacher kind of like either gives you a study guide, maybe you like outline the textbook. I don't know. I didn't do any of that. I took notes. That's the way I learned. I would go to class, listen to lectures, take very detailed notes. I rarely read textbooks, and I graduated magna cum laude. So it worked for me. Teachers kind of expect you, depending on the class, depending on the major, to know something before you get to the class, maybe bring in previous knowledge, and you take notes, and then that's the way you learn. You kind of read the book, you kind of learn from the teacher. Whereas in law school, you were expected to learn on your own pretty much. So, and this is just my experience. Well, no, the law school is the real deal everywhere. But, undergrad, I just kind of learned by listening. But in law school, you read all of your textbooks. We read it, like all of it. The notes, the beginning of the chapter, the end of the chapter, all the cases, and you learn the information that way. So you go through your textbook, you outline the chapters, you brief the cases, and you read the notes for more information on the cases, and you're supposed to get an understanding basically from what the textbook authors have taught and bring that knowledge to class. You present that knowledge, wait, is at this point? Yeah, you present that knowledge in class, and then the teacher corrects you, or they question you using the Socratic method to get you to deepen your learning, to get you to think about other things, to correct you if you're wrong, and that is not really the case in undergrad. Teachers might ask you questions, and if you say you don't know, it's fine, but it is mandatory that you come prepared for your law school classes. I do have professors that will kick you out and or count you absent if you do not know the answer to a question, or if you are not prepared because you haven't done the reading. Another way that you learn in law school that's really important is through experiential learning. So the way you learn law is it's completely different, and you won't understand it until you get to law school. But rather than just reading things or hearing people teach them and memorizing them, you constantly have to apply the law to different sets of facts to learn how to do it. And so you do that in your doctrinal classes, which are your beginner classes: contracts, property, torts, constitutional law, criminal law, civil procedure. And then when you get to your upper level classes, which I'm not in yet, you practice. So there are things like law clinics, moot court, oral advocacy, mock trial, those different types of things where you get to utilize the skills with most of the time real cases, and you learn the law that way. It really deepens your learning when you're taking a class on wills, and then you actually sit in a wills and a probate legal clinic where you're working with people and actually creating their wills and helping them with estates and stuff like that. The next difference is the way that information is tested. So in undergrad, in high school and middle school and all that, there's homework and there's quizzes and there's midterms and there's finals and there's like 4 or 5 tests or however many tests your teachers want to give, and there's makeup assignments and test retakes and all these different things. In law school, really you get like one test. Now my school is different because we have, and it differs per class, but you have 1 multiple choice test, 1 essay test, and then your teacher maybe will give you a quiz or something. Probably not. There's not really homework. So class participation is a key, because if you don't come to class, they will reduce your letter grade. And you are tested once or twice a semester. At the end of our semester, we also are given a comprehensive exam, which is a uniform exam from what everybody's learning in all of our different sections, because we all have different teachers. And so you get like 1 or 2 tests, and you hope that you have retained the information through the entire semester. Less about retaining information, more about learning the skill and learning how to apply facts to all the rules that you've learned. So yeah, undergrad, you got all opportunities to do well. Law school, you have like 2 or 3. Good luck. Yeah. So, and the last thing is the way I guess success is measured. And I know my friend, she went to Vanderbilt in undergrad, and let me move my hair because I'm getting distracted. There were certain programs or certain classes where you could get curved out, but that's not something I ever experienced in high school or college. I went to Alabama A&M, and you know, you just went to class, and if you made a D, you passed. Unless it was like a major class or a minor class where you had to get a C, but other than that, really D's would get you degrees. In law school, C's do not get you degrees. There is a GPA that is set, it's a curve, and if you fall below the curve, you will be put out. So yeah, that's a big difference, because you cannot just skate your way through. You cannot halfway know the information. You can't just kind of hope that you'll just do better than everybody else, because you actually have to put forth a concerted effort. And me being a nerd who was just naturally smart, I didn't understand that I was actually going to have to put forth this much effort in law school. It's a full-time job. You can see all of my sticky notes with all the things that remind me of what I'm supposed to be doing. There is a daily schedule that I have to follow to ensure that I get A's and B's. So it's really extremely rigorous, and they said law school was going to be hard, but I didn't believe them. It's really, really hard. So yeah, the major difference is the way information is learned, the way it's tested, and C's do not get degrees anymore. Who would have thunk it? So yeah, if that's it. If you want to know more about law school, about what I've learned so far, let me know in the comments. Follow me on Instagram, and if you're watching this, tell me what law school you go to or what law school you want to go to. That's all for today, you guys. Bye.